B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading to New York to talk about a group that grew out of hip hop's golden age. From the beginning, they mixed in elements of political, spiritual, and conscious lyrics, while at the same time keeping it 100% hip hop. Sadat X, Grand Puba, and Lord Jamar gave us plenty of dope songs to choose from. So this week, top 10 Brand Nubian songs, group songs. They're not talking about solo projects. As always, Raven Hunter's in the house. Ben Newman's back in the house. It's the three of us holding us down. And you know how it goes. I get to go first because it's my show. So at number 10, I'm going to 1993's In God We Trust. And I'm going with a song I can guarantee no one else probably even makes their top 50. And that song is Travel Jam. The lyrics are about life on the road, and they're fine, but that's irrelevant to me. The beat is fine too, but also irrelevant to me. In this era, you would never hear Milwaukee or Wisconsin and any nationwide artist. I think the first time I heard it was Short Dogs in the House. He says about he had hoes in Wisconsin. At the end of the verses, which are fine, they're listing cities: Chicago, LA, Miami, Dallas, Detroit. And at the very end, they say Sheboygan. I can remember hearing that for the first time, rewinding it, like that can't be. And listen to it again. It's as clear as fucking day. Lord Jamar, the last city he names is Sheboygan, my hometown. It blew my fucking mind as a teenager. I remember hearing this for the first time and being like so excited. And then like 2 minutes later, I was like, when the fuck was Brand Nubian in Sheboygan and why didn't I know about it? Fucking Sadat X was downtown and I didn't know about it. But Travel Jam, they say Sheboygan. I still almost don't believe it, but it's clear as a bell. There's no denying it. So it had to make my list because, man, I'll always remember that feeling when hearing Lord Jamar shout out my city's name. So Travel Jam, number 10. Raven, what's your number 10?
Man, I felt the same way when Naughty by Nature hit Maryland when they was doing their filmy flow and shit. But number 10, yeah. I went to 1990s all for one. And I went with Drop the Bomb. I really like the vibes on that one. I love that beat. Because that's what we came to do. We dropped the bombs.
Such a good debut album, too, going back through it. I always thought that was my favorite one, and I think it still is. I really enjoy that record.
It's right there with me, but I super love the foundation.
Foundation is dope. That would be my number two. Where In God We Trust aged worse than I remember. Everything else, the earlier ones, aged a little bit better than I remembered. I think with In God We Trust, that first like 6 or 7 songs just don't resonate with me. Ben, what's your number 10?
I'm going with the first record, and then All for One. This was the my introduction to Brand Nubian, and I might get some hate on this, but I like Brand Nubian better without Puba. So you'll see that in my list as we go on. Just nothing against him personally. I like to sound better when he's not there.
All right, number 9, and I'm going to 1990s One for All. And Raven, good minds think alike. Drop the bomb. Like you said, that beat and the drum sample, the bell is almost like a cowbell. I don't know what that bell is, but it reminds me of like a cowbell, but it gets me. You got a sample of Flavor Flav from PE's Anti Machine. Really dope scratching here and there, just perfectly done. And all three MCs bring it. And I just always love this song. I bought this tape, back in 90, and this was one of the standouts, always the faster beat, and they just ride it perfectly. And I always love a little Flavor Flav sample. So Drop the Bomb was number 9. Raven, what's your number 9?
I stayed on 90s all for one, and I went with all for one. I really like that beat, and fuck, I really like Sadat's flow in that song. Sadat, he's so underrated. Yeah, fuck you if you don't like Sadat X. I've heard people say that he can't rap, and it makes me fucking laugh.
He was always a standout to me. Such a good record. That was an honorable mention. That title track probably would have been my 11 or 12. It was flirting for a while. Number 9 for you, Ben.
Do you guys remember the White Rapper show when Brand Nubian was on there? And
I
then,
remember the show, but I don't remember a Brand Nubian episode.
so then those kids didn't they introduce or Search introduced everybody, and when he introduced Sadat X, the kids didn't know who he was, and then Lord Jamar got pissed. He's like, you don't know who this man? Like he got pissed that they didn't know who Sadat X is. So with Raven saying, if you don't like Sadat,
FedEx.
so nine, I'm going in. Probably my favorite album is "In God We Trust." I'm going with Black and Blue. Not a whole lot to say, just a good old fashioned "Fuck the Police" song.
Yeah, that was an honorable mention, and it was between Black and Blue or my number eight from '98. It's the Foundation, Probable Cause. I had them both going. One of them was going to hit number eight, and I just edged out with Probable Cause. The Foundation was, I think, their last really great album. The two after that are all right, but this was their last like peak album. And what edged out Probable Cause, besides the subject matter, is that sample, the same sample King T used for Played Like a Piano.
Yep.
And so I had to look it up because when I hear it, I think of King T. And it was a song called Knucklehead by Grover Washington Jr. So there's your fact of the day. But a great song about shady police, beat by DJ Alamo. And this was the first album that Alamo was back since their debut. He had been gone, and In God We Trust and Everything Is Everything. So yeah, Probable Cause, fuck the police. Raven, what's your number eight?
I went to 94's Everything Is Everything, and I went with Word is Bond. I just like that real, just laid back vibe, just great flows from all around. It's a head bobber, and it catches me. I catch myself nodding to it every time.
Another honorable mention. We're knocking them out. All right, we'll keep going. Ben, number eight.
I went to the Foundation with the Return. The Foundation to me is a super solid record. I wanted something off it, so I went with the Return. There was a few other ones that were could have made it, but those two prior albums before that, I love so much. So, but I wanted to get something on there, so I went with the Return.
That was a great way to start that record with a
Yeah,
primo
yep.
beat and the scratching between each verse. We are already to seven. I'll go back to that debut, 1990s One for All. And I'm going with the song Grand Puba, Positive, and LG, because this is just some true MC shit to me right here. And it's the first time you hear Positive K, and this is 2 years before he blows up. He kind of ended up being a one-hit wonder, although he had Car Hoppers and I Got a Man. But Positive K's on this. It's just him and Puba going back and forth, just some MC, almost remind me of back and forth Run DMC style, because in some parts it's just line by line they're going back and forth, and I love that style, and it's probably because it reminds me of Run DMC. But there's really dope scratching, a funky beat by Brand Nubian himself, and Puba and K just go for like 5 minutes, just straight MC. So Grand Puba, Positive, and LG from that first record had to make it. So that was my number seven. What about you, Raven?
I went to 93's In God We Trust. I think the only time I bring that album up is this song right here. It's called Ain't No Mystery. It's just got a really dope vibe, a dope flow. I really like the beat. It's got some dope samples, some chanting in the hook. It's a song about God, but it's one of those few songs on that record that stood out to me. Even when that dropped, I just never really could get into that record very much. But Ain't No Mystery is one of the few songs I always really liked on there.
We are still in seven, Ben.
I went with "Gotta Not" from Fire in the Hole. I love the old school beat style to that. Actually, that whole record to me had an old school vibe that I dug, but I was trying to get something off it. It's not their best work, but I went with that one because just for the nostalgic reasons of the beat making. So yeah, "Gotta Not."
We are already to six. And for the first time, I'm going to 94's Everything Is Everything, which I always thought this was a weird cover design for an album cover, but I don't know. But my pick on Everything Is Everything is Claiming I'm a Criminal. The vibe of this song almost gives me chills. It's so good. And this is what I think they're best at when they're talking about social issues. But this beat is amazing and almost haunting. And along with the hook is haunting, and it's great storytelling elements about important topics, racism, and they tell all these stories and it's great lyrics. And then for an extra 2 minutes after that last verse, they just let the beat ride, almost like Too Short back in the day, and add some funky guitar in there. But it almost puts me in a trance. That beat, that hook is just so it's haunting is the best way I can describe it. Claiming I'm a criminal, I love that. I wanted it higher, just kept getting knocked down. So it's at 6. What's at 6 for you, Raven?
I went back to One for All. This song, like I kind of struggled with putting it on here because I never really loved the chorus. I just don't think the hook lands, but Slow Down. I love the vibe. I love the beat. It's just such a dope vibe. Your head's not gonna not bob to that beat. It's just that chorus never landed for me.
What I always thought was weird is they sampled that chorus was a sample of a song that was only 2 years old. Even back then, I was like, wait, this song is like was just out that what they're using for the chorus. But Slow Down was the first time I think I heard Brand Nubian. I think I saw that video on MTV, and that was my first time hearing them. Because then I went and got the record right away, so the record had to have been out, and I just didn't know about it. Number 6 for you, Ben.
I'm going back to In God We Trust with Ain't No Mystery.
Oh yeah.
Just dope ass song, dope beat, dope flow. Yeah, it ain't no mystery. I remember when that record came out, like everybody was like, "Oh shit, how the fuck are they gonna be without Puba?" I was like, "Shit, better."
Fuck Graham.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Man, you just made Lord Jamar mad.
Yeah, right. Well, because I think what didn't Puba's Reel to Reel come out like the same year?
Right, 92. Yeah, so ish. Yeah,
Around, yeah,
right.
yeah. So, I mean, I bought that too, so it's not all fuck Grand Puba.
All right, yeah, that's good. I actually really like those first two Grand Puba ones. That one in 2000 is the name of the second one, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah.
Those two, I like those records. We are at the halfway point, and I'm going back to 1998's The Foundation, and I'm going with a song called Don't Let It Go to Your Head. I'm usually a lyrics guy, but this beat and sample is done so well. It's such a smooth, laid back beat, and that sample and the hook. There's great small scratching here and there that adds that little bit that means so much. And everyone brings it while telling tales of not letting, shit go to your head. And it was a single, and it sounds like a symbol, but damn, it makes my head nod. This beat, and like usually I'm all about lyrics. This beat just gets me every time. So don't let it go to your head is my number 5. Raven, you're up.
Number 5, man. Great slow vibe. Super dope fucking samples. Love Sadat's flow. Don't let it go to your head. The foundation. Nah, it ain't even about the lyrics. Sadat flows to this
Mhm.
beat so fucking well. And that beat's just so dope. And the samples are so good. Like, I love the foundation, and I forgot how much I loved it. In my opinion, it's the last really good album they put out, but I love that album.
No, I obviously I agree because I had the same number. But that was their last really, really good album. Sadat X is so underrated. I know we're gonna keep saying it. You don't mistake anyone else for Sadat X,
That
right?
voice and flow, man.
That voice and flow. What hit number 5 on your list, Ben?
I'm going to Everything Is Everything. I remember when that record came out, I fucking loved it. And when I went back, do you guys remember when cassettes were on the move out and CDs were coming in? But for some reason, I have the CD of In God We Trust, but I have the cassette of so but then I remember I was like, well, sometimes they wouldn't have shit in both formats, but I still want it, so I'd buy like if the I still had a cassette player, so I was like,
Hmm.
oh shit, get it, whatever. But anyway, hold on off everything is everything. What really gets me is the soulfulness of the whoever the dude is singing that hook. Motherfuckers out, don't leave me alone. Just I thought it was done really well. And plus it just a heartfelt song. It kind of one of those ones that gets to you. So yep, hold on, number 5. It should have been higher, but we're at 5.
Yeah, it didn't even make my list. It was an honorable mention
Oof.
though. It was an honorable mention. I know it was flirting. It was probably 11 or 12,
Mm.
along with One for All. Yeah, you can judge me. That's all right. that gave me a core memory unlocked about how through the years in the 90s you could see the CDs coming and the tapes would get less and less till the
Yeah,
end there was just one little wall, like on the wall they would have
Yeah.
some, and just the big releases would be on there. Core memory unlocked. Man, I miss it. I miss when there was record stores everywhere.
Facts.
But that's a whole nother thing. Number four, I'm staying at 1998's The Foundation. I obviously love this record too. And I'm going with The Return. We talked about it before, but this beat and holy shit, what a way to start an album. Premier, who gets brought up a lot because it's weird. Primo's beats, you know it when you hear a Premier beat. It's got
Mm.
Premier elements, but they're all great. I mean, it's not like, oh, this just sounds like another Premiere beat. It's always dope. It always makes me, nod my head. And the scratching in here is so good over that boom back beat. All three MCs bringing on the mic. After 4 years of some solo albums between there, they set this new record off right. The Return, Primo, nothing else to say. What's your number four, Raven?
I went back to 1990s all for one, and I went with what the first song I remember hearing from them was Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. I just always loved that shit. I had this 12-inch that had like fucking multiple mixes on it. I remember like a remix that had a totally different beat that I used to play the shit out of too. But yeah, that was the horns. Like Sadat's rapping and these fucking horns come in, and I remember laughing my ass off all the time when I was young because where these fucking horns don't belong in rap like this. Like,
Mm.
but it sounds so good and it still made me chuckle and it still sounded fucking awesome.
And there was I had the maxi single of that, and it had like three or four different remixes with different beats. Damn, I should have
that
listened.
was in God We Trust, right?
That was in God We Trust, not one for all. Yeah.
Oh, my bad shit.
Yeah. That's all right. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. What's weird about that is that was the main single off that album, and it was the last track on the album, which I always thought was kind of weird. Number four for you, Ben.
I'm sticking with Everything Is Everything, and it was brought up before, but Claiming I'm a Criminal. That's one of those songs that just kind of gets in your you just feel that shit, and you're just like the beat, the everything, the flow, the storytelling, like just a great tune.
I'm glad someone else loved it too. It's just, it hits you right in the soul. Wow, just like that, we're the top three. We're flying through these. Man, my number three wanted to be number one. My number three was number one for a while, but it got knocked down. 1993's Menace to Society soundtrack. Lick them motherfuckers. And they did a remix on Everything Is Everything. It's not even comparable. It almost sounds like a whole different song. The Menace version is a version you want to listen to. And it's just so hardcore and gangsta, which took me by surprise, it being Brand Nubian. But, Jamar and Sadat just weave perfect storytelling. It makes me wish they would have done more songs like this because they did it really good. But the beat and scratching and samples and the hook, just so damn great. 5 out of 5 soundtrack, 5 out of 5 movie, and fuck it, 5 out of 5 song by Brand Nubian. You gotta lick them punk motherfuckers. And then when you hear it on Everything Is Everything, you're like, oh my fucking God, this is terrible. I can't listen to it. It's just that much worse than the Menace version. So that's my number three, Raven. What about you?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even think about soundtracks this go around. Fuck, because I hate that song on the album. So
It's
I totally
terrible,
forgot
yeah.
all about that soundtrack. Yeah, my top three for days have jumped back and forth, all three of these. I went back to the foundation and I went with the song Brand Nubian. Because man, I love that fucking that's a hard beat. They got dope flows. The dot goes the fuck off again. It's got that party vibe in the hook with the yelling posse style. Just it's everything I liked about Brand Nubian. With that, I love the production and the vibe they had in '98.
That was an honorable mention. That was on my list for a while. I think it was at like 8 or 9 for a while and then just got kicked off. Number three on your list, Ben.
Back to On God We Trust, I went with Love Me or Leave Me Alone. I don't know why I like the song 'cause it's like a relationship song, but it's so catchy and like I find myself just if I didn't listen to it for 5 years, I find myself just humming it sometimes, like just
Stuck in your
so
head,
one
huh?
of those ones that gets in your head and just a dope ass song.
That's all right if you're a softie on the
Yeah, right.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm,
That was one of my honorable mentions. I love that song.
yeah.
yeah. For number two, I went to 1990s One for All one more time, and I went with the big single Slow Down. Like I said, this is the first song I heard by them. I can picture the video. There's like a lady climbing up a ladder, is what always comes to my head first. But they're like on a TV screen, each rapping their verses. And it's another song with a message, but done so well. The lyrics are still relevant today. And Brand Nubian again producing this, which they did a lot of. And if this song's on, I will always rap along. Even if you said I'll give you $100 if you don't rap along, I couldn't not rap along. Slow down. And like I said, it's really weird. They used a sample from a song that at that time was only 2 years old. I love that song. Slow down. Number two, Raven. What's your number two?
Funny as my high ass realizes I was reading my notes for Slow Down when I was doing Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. So that's funny as shit. But anyway, no, my number two, I went back to Everything Is Everything, hopefully, with Hold On. Um, it's just, man, that's just such a really, like, it's a slow vibe, but it's such a real life song. You know what I mean? And one of those, like, much like Karis, one of them used to have where it just really lets you see the life of other races that you don't grow up, predominantly with. So I don't know, Hold On, just it always had one of those like just stories that you could see in your head.
No, it is an amazing song. And if I didn't have to get like Travel Jam on there, which was a no negotiation for me, it might have made it. Number two for you, Ben.
I'm still on in God We Trust with Brand Nubian Rock the Set. Just like the Love Me or Leave Me Alone, like that shit just gets stuck in my head and just a great tune.
That is what I was singing in my head when I was setting up for this show. And even though it didn't make my list, it was an honorable mention.
Yeah,
It's such an earworm song.
yeah, yeah. Brand Nubian
And
Rock the
in the
Set.
set, I know
Yeah.
it's catchy as fuck, right? Which brings us to number one. I am going to 1993's In God We Trust. You know what it is. Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. It was the single off this album, Dope Beat by Diamond D. Another underrated, we always show him love, but in the 90s, Diamond D was just could almost do no wrong, whether it was production or on the mic. Dope scratching in the hook. Another video I remember, they're rapping in the subway. Whenever I hear this song, I picture that video of them in the subway. Simple but effective hook, right? It's simple, but you're always going to sing along. Great title, subject matter. Punk jumps up, he's got to get beat down. And this was the song I was alluding to about how homophobic rappers were in the 80s and 90s. There's a whole lot of gay bashing in this that in 1990, I don't remember any of that because you didn't really think about it, but it's still a classic song. I will always love it. The title alone gets me hyped, so Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down was my number one. What is number one for you, Raven?
Yeah, I didn't talk about the homophobia when I brought that song up, but anyway,
It's
there's
there
a lot
multiple,
of it,
multiple
especially
times.
Sadat. Sadat has quite a bit in that song, but it was the times, whatever. Number one was kind of surprising to me, but it did come from the foundation. Man, it's such a dope opening song with so many dope scratches and cuts, just the return. It's such a good way to start a record, such a good fucking beat. And yeah, it definitely kicks off my favorite album from them. That and the first one, I think I had more picks from the first album, but it's just fucking classic. It was hard not to.
That's almost exactly how I was. I look at number one as my favorite because of the classics, but Foundation was really good. That's easily my second favorite. And The Return, I wouldn't even argue that that's number one because that's such a dope fucking song. But I know it's not number one on your list, Ben. So what is Travel Jam?
Well, I'm not rolling over on my motherfucking back, so I'm going with pass the gat.
Ah,
In
yes,
Hell
God,
someone
yeah,
got
hell
it.
in
yeah.
God we trust.
Another one.
Yep, that's the one that always sticks out to me from you. You say Brand Nubian, and my mind goes to there first. So
Another
pass the gat.
simple but effective hook. That was an
Yeah,
honorable mention. Great song. Great song.
yeah. All their hooks are very simplistic, but yet effective.
Right. Those are
Like you're
usually the
not
best ones.
you're never like this hook is lame. It's
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
subtle, but it's good. And like I
Mhm.
said, like you're repeating that shit all the time, you know. So it's good stuff.
While we flew through that list, we'll go right to honorable mentions. You guys knocked a lot of them out, but some that were missed, From One for All to the Right is a song I really like, and Wake Up. From Everything is Everything, All of That, and What the Fuck. From The Foundation, Sincerely, which is a softer song, but I like it. And from Fire in the Hole, Still Living in the Ghetto, and Soldier's Story. What are we missing?
Now, just Step to the Rear is the only one that didn't get brought up for me.
Nubian Jam for me. Yeah, other than that, I think we kind of covered everything.
Have a good night. Talk to you in a couple days.
All right, see you guys. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Take it easy, guys.
Still a b-boy, from the old to the new, still a b-boy. Too bold for the school, still a b-boy. East coast to the west, b-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a b-boy, from the old to the new, still a b-boy. Too bold for the school, still a b-boy. East coast to the west, b-boys worldwide, we supposed to be